So we are just at the 18-year birthday for the organization. We started it in early 2006 in response to the government's plans for the National Animal ID system, or basically mandatory electronic tagging for all livestock. I hadn't planned to do advocacy or nonprofit work, but my husband and I were farming and looked at this and said that, if it went through, it would have been a devastating blow to sustainable and small livestock farms, and someone had to do something about it. I was inside the hallways. I spent hundreds and hundreds, by this point, thousands of hours walking the hallways, getting to know the staff, getting to know the legislators, strategically understanding what made different legislators tick, what messaging was needed to get them to listen, and then putting that information out to the farmers and ranchers and their customers and saying, hey, here's when to call, what to say, what messaging to use, bringing people in to meet with their legislators, and creating that public pressure and grassroots base that incentivize the legislators to listen.
Hopefully people were inspired by what you've been able to accomplish. If someone does want to get active, start working on bills or has a particular piece of legislation they passed, in a nutshell, what would your advice be to them?
So first of all, don't go it alone. I mean, you're not going, this image that one person goes and passes a bill, like this is mythology. One person can help lead a movement. One person can help gather that movement together, certainly, and play an important role, but you're not going to do it by yourself. So hopefully there's already an organization that's looking at what you're doing. And if you have trouble finding them, then go to an organization that's doing something similar and see if they know anybody. I mean, I get calls all the time where I'm like, I'm sorry, we're not, that's not our thing, but you know what? I bet so-and-so can work with you on it. There's networks, tap into the networks. Recognize that can take time. Raw milk took a decade in Texas. Cottage foods, we started small. We had to win our first try, but it was a small win, and it's another decade as we've expanded it. Be ready to see everybody involved as human beings. The legislators, their staff, the entities on the other side. Even when you're dealing with people who are being completely unreasonable, and you have to draw lines. I mean, it's not about playing nice or rose-colored glasses or being chumps. But you have to be able to think through the why of what they're doing. See if there's room for negotiation, if there's room for common ground. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes, I mean, I've focused on the ones where there was room for common ground. God knows I've hit battles. The NACE battle, there has been no room for common ground with the opposition on it. That is a clear, like, either we win or we lose. There is no negotiation to be had about winning or losing. There's no sort of middle piece that we could come up with. Or more point, we did in 2013, and clearly they're not willing to abide by that, might be the more accurate way to put it. So, and then you have to figure out how to fight them when you don't agree, how to build enough power. And again, that's not you alone. That's you working within a movement, some role within a larger movement, building that power that enables you to go head on where there's no negotiation possible. I mean, my hope is that everybody who gets involved in this process as a local foods advocate is able to walk away not just having advocated for local foods and done some great work that way, but maybe with a little more understanding and openness to the idea that we can talk to people who have very different viewpoints than you do. You can be a constitutionalist and find common ground with an urban progressive and vice versa.